Welcome back to the Goodness Margin. Today we are going to take on part 2 of the Minimalism Q&A. I am answering your questions that you have asked me on social media. So let's get started. Question number 1. I love hosting parties. How do you keep your party supplies minimal? I love all the extras, so it's easy for me to go overboard. I love hosting parties too. I love doing baby showers, bridal showers, having friends over for dinner, and having a lot of really pretty desserts and things like that. So I can completely understand where you're coming from. The most important thing is to go neutral with what that you are keeping when you decide to purge your kitchen. So what are the things that you can use for all different events? For me, I love to use wooden elements and gold elements. I feel like wood and metal are things that I can really put any sort of paper goods or plates or napkins with, and those are really neutral and I can do like anything with them. So if you want to imagine the largest dinner party that you're going to have, or imagine you're in your space and you are setting up for a baby shower, that really helped me to determine some things that I was going to get rid of. And if you want to keep a pop of color, really think about something that you can use for all occasions. For example, I have some really great napkin rings that are red, and I use those for Valentine's Day. I can use those for Christmas. I can use them for 4th of July, Memorial Day. So that color, even though I don't have that color in my house, I keep those napkin rings in my drawer because they really go with so many things. Think about things that can be used for all different parties, for all different events, and just keep exactly what you are actually going to use on a regular basis. So question number 2 is, what are your favorite cleaners? How can I take a cabinet full of cleaners to a minimal amount, down to a handful? This is a really great question and something that I've actually done over the last couple of years. I have a 13-year-old son, and I didn't really know a lot about harmful chemicals and things like that when he was born. And I remember taking all of the cleaning supplies and putting them up in an upper cabinet because we were in an apartment and I couldn't latch the cabinet. But after my daughter was born, I really had access to more research and decided that I wanted to go away from harmful chemicals in my house. And so by making that switch, I've really found really good cleaners that serve a multi-purpose. And I think that is key here, is to determine what cleaners are multi-purpose cleaners. That way you don't have as many. For example, the cleaner that I use in my kitchen, where I take just a squirt of Dr. Bronner's soap, a little bit of essential oil, and fill the rest of it up with water. That cleans my hardwood floors so good, and it also does really well on my quartz countertops. That is a perfect example of a great multi-purpose cleaner. So in my kitchen, all I really need is that multi-purpose cleaner, some dish soap, and some baking soda to get those tough stains off, and I'm pretty good with that. For the bathroom, I find a good antibacterial cleaner, and that is predominantly what I use with a DIY glass cleaner. So if you will just realize what you need for each space and don't go and buy every new cleaner. Don't get sucked in by saying, this works only for this purpose. Find things that have multiple purposes and use those. And know that it is okay to throw some things away. When I was making the switch, I tried to use some things up, but some things I learned, they were just really, really harmful for our household. And so I just went ahead and threw them away, and that is okay too. So question 3 and 4, I'm going to answer together. Question 3, how do I majorly downsize my closet? And question 4 is, what is a capsule wardrobe and do you recommend it? So a capsule wardrobe is essentially pieces that can be mixed and matched for that season. Basically, if you were to take all of the things for a capsule wardrobe, your options would be endless, but things can be mixed and matched. So you could have a scarf that goes with 5 to 10 different outfits, and you could have a skirt that you can pair with a lot of different tops. A denim shirt is a great example of something that fits really well into most capsule wardrobes. I have a capsule wardrobe for my fall and winter clothes. Everything sort of coordinates. I have learned that I love certain colors, and black is essentially my base for everything. I do have some leopard shoes and some accessories that are neutral, but most of my stuff is really neutral and it really mixes and matches. It's what works for me. It fits my style. So now that you understand what a capsule wardrobe is, you don't necessarily have to go that route. But if you are going to clean out your closet, here are some steps that I suggest that you take. Step number one is going to be to take everything out of your closet, absolutely everything. This includes if you have some other items out of season or whatever in another closet, bring everything into one space. Doing all of this on your bed is like a really great place to do this. So take everything out, lay it out, and you're going to create 3 piles. You're going to have a love it pile, a maybe pile, and a no pile. So when you pick up a piece of clothing, you immediately know, I love this piece. If I was going to be packing for a 2 or 3 week trip, this would definitely be going with me. It fits great. It's great quality. I am going to wear this on a consistent basis. Sometimes you may have to try something on to be sure, but try to make this process as quick as possible. Go with your gut. We all have those pieces of clothing that are hanging in our closet and we think, I think this looks good. I really like this. When we go to put it on, it doesn't look good on our body type. If you need to, bring a friend in who can be brutally honest with you and say, that doesn't look so great on you. It's okay. We're all different. And sometimes there's just types of clothing that I may think they're beautiful, but they just don't work for me. So try to make this a really quick process. Choose the things that you know you really love, the things that are maybe you can't really decide, and then the things that are a no. This is leaving my closet. I'm going to put this in the no pile. Then you want to really clean your closet out. Vacuum it, dust it, wipe it out. Take all of the stuff out that doesn't belong there. Because the next step is to take all of those love items and hang them back up neatly. It's really, really great if you can have matching hangers. That just makes your closet look so much nicer. And you will see that when your closet is full of the items that you love, you know they fit you. It's so much easier to get dressed in the morning. It's so much easier to pack for an event. And you're just going to enjoy your closet a lot more. The next step is going to immediately get rid of the no pile. Whether you're going to sell these clothes, if you're going to give them away to someone, if you're going to donate them. I know many times that we look at clothing and we think, oh my goodness, I paid a lot of money for this. The reality is that clothing is not an investment purchase. We are rarely ever going to get the money out of our clothing that we paid for it. And so I've said this before, just get rid of the guilt, learn from the decisions that you made in the past, and move on. Try to get these clothes out of your home immediately. And now for that maybe pile, I would recommend that you take and you box it up for 30, 60, 90 days, whatever you decide, and try to live without those pieces. If you can't even remember what's in there and you're like, you know what, I'm just going to let this go because I love having such a fresh and easily organized closet, great, let it go without opening it back up. Otherwise, open it back up and decide, did you really miss some of these things? I imagine that you will be able to let a lot of those pieces go. Question 5, how do you help your parents get rid of clutter as they get older? So this is a really loaded question. And the reality is that no one can be helped if they don't want to be helped. You do have to remember these are our parents. The relationship with them is much more important than clutter or anything like that. So remember, this is their house. These are their things, and we can't make these decisions. However, if they ask for your help, by all means, help them. If they haven't asked for your help, one way that you can help them is by asking for your items. When we first moved into our house, my mother brought all of my childhood memory things. She brought any boxes that I had left at her house. She brought those to my house. And I will actually link below. I have another video about how I deal with sentimental things. And so I have already been able to go through those things. All of us have parents, and one day, unfortunately, they are going to pass away and we're going to have to go through their homes. And so if you go ahead and take the things that are yours, that's one less thing that you will have to go through. I'm not trying to sound harsh or that I don't have feelings, but this is just the reality. I am grateful that my parents really don't have that much clutter, but I want to help them however I can help them now, and essentially it's helping me down the road in the future. So for example, my mom recently asked my sister and I to help her with photos, and we need to put a date on the calendar very soon so that we can go through all of those photos. That's the way I get the benefit of photos that I get to see from my childhood, or photos that are of my parents when they were younger, I will make all of those digital. I will scan all of those in, and then I get to enjoy them in albums myself. But at the same time, I'm also helping her to go through and get rid of those things. I hope these answers have helped you to answer some of the questions that you have. If you have questions that I haven't answered, I would love to do a part 3 in this series. Please comment below or go to social media and send me a message and let me know how that I can answer your questions on minimalism.